everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Omnibros live on a Thursday night. Tonight, we're going to be talking manga. We got some really cool stuff for you. Thank you all for tuning in. It's me, your boy Gio here from Manga Geekdom, and I am joined by the insufferable Omnibus Collector. We are a little bit late. We were sharing some gossip behind the scenes, some juicy gossip that none of you will know about eventually. I don't know. Who knows? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. And how about yourself?
Doing all right. You know, it's a fun, quiet Thursday evening, and I'm ready to talk about some reads. One particular news that for a lot of people was funny. I thought it was annoying, and I will talk about it. It's in the thumbnail, so everybody probably knows what I'm referring to. But we'll go over that in a second. Thank you to the chat, as always, for joining us live. And most importantly, thank you to our sponsor for sponsoring this episode. InStockTrades.com is your home for all things collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperback, hardcovers, manga, and more for great discounted prices that range from 42 to 50 to sometimes even more. Discounted prices is great. And InStock Trades is where you need to go to get them. Free shipping in the US at $50 or more, and the loyalty discount adds an extra 2% discount on your order if you make it on a week-by-week basis. So that 50% off book now became a 52% off book. You're not going to get that anywhere else but InStockTrades.com. Great packaging, wonderful customer service. That is IST, as we like to say, our lovely sponsor. Also, InStock Trades is giving out a $50 gift card on this very show at some point during the month. You got to tune in. We're going to sneak that in there somewhere, either on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. And if you want to participate for that gift card giveaway, all you have to do is show up on that show and hang out in the chat. We're going to pick out a winner from the chat. It's open to anybody out there in the world. Just, again, show up and have some fun with us. That's all courtesy of our sponsor, InStockTrades.com. And let's go over the website real quick. Let's see. Oh, we got a third co-host. I love it. That's awesome. She's great.
Oh, I was like, oh, who's coming in? Oh, it's the cat.
Here are the deals of the week for this week, of course. You got the Batman Hush Compact Comics Edition at 50% off, only $5. And you get the whole Hush storyline. That is fantastic. We had Birds of Prey here, but it's sold out. So it's no longer here as a deal of the week. It was 50% off. We have the Immortal Thor, Volume 2, what I call the Al Ewing tax. So fortunately, you can get it for cheap, 46% off. And
it's not as expensive as the first one, though. That first one
was pricey.
$30, $35 or something stupid like that.
Crazy. That's why I came up with the nickname of the Al Ewing tax. From Boom Studios, Once a Future Deluxe Edition hardcover slipcase, 40% off, $42. That's great. And we do have the one manga deal of the week, Spy Family Volume 12, 40% off at $7.19. Of course, here are some of the other new releases, including Alpi, which I do like a lot. I've talked about it on my channel. You got some Batmans, some Flash. This thing, which we joked about on Monday's show, I don't even know. I'm not going to go back and talk about this, but that was a whole segment. And, of course, your top sellers right here. And don't forget, they do have sales at InStock Trades, including the Super Summer Sale, where you can get books at half off or even more. So the mission here for you, after you're done watching us, is to go to our sponsor, InStockTrades.com, and buy all the cool stuff. There we go. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, for joining once again. Javier, thank you so much. Tim, thank you so much, buddy. I fully support Riley's t-shirt choice this evening. Look at that, some Daredevil. Hell yeah. Spud Boy, thank you for joining our lovely, oh my God, our lovely mod. I was going to call James the sponsor. Sorry. He does sponsor us in his heart. Louise, thank you for joining as well. Can't wait for manga sale to come back, although Crunchy has some good summer deals going on right now. I got some beef with the Crunchyroll store, man. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but man,
I aired out a little bit of my dirty laundry on Twitter the other day, and it did get a little bit of traction.
I hope it works out.
And knowing how things go, I know how long, like if they're trying to do, I don't want to veer off into that right now because it's a whole thing. But like,
yeah,
I have some things that I could say about it.
right. H Field, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie, most of my orders have been coming from Harry Manga Co. these days. Nice.
That is a place that a few people did recommend in my on the comments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I was very impressed with the fact that the website, from what I could see, seems to at least have everything listed. So it is something that we could use for this show without having to spend hours like putting together stuff to show what's coming out on those, on the preview shows that we'd like to do.
Right. Before we tell you, Luis,
we'll talk about it. I just didn't want to take over.
Before we tell you, because why not? Why the hell not? Let's see. Oh, hauls. Did you haul anything interesting to show the peeps?
I did. Did you haul anything interesting?
I did not.
Okay.
Nothing.
I told you this last week, but I did get Bocchi the Rock on Blu-ray. So we haven't started watching it yet because we're doing Umbrella Academy because the 4th season started today. So we did a whole watch through of 1 through 3. I had already watched them. So it was a rewatch for me, which was much needed. But very exciting to get in there. And then we are also watching Gravity Falls because the Book of Bill came out and I was like, oh my God, like,
oh yeah, you showed that off last week?
A few weeks ago. I did get a copy, but yeah, I was like, I haven't watched this in so long that I was like, I really need to rewatch it. So that's the other thing that's being rewatched right now. But over halfway done with that, and then caught up for Umbrella Academy to get into the new season, which is only 6 episodes instead of 10. So will not be much longer, but we should be able to watch Bocchi. The other thing that I got was, if you might recall, I was supposed to, watch. I was supposed to start the entire Gundam franchise.
Oh wow, yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, so like I did not start Gundam because I've just been way too busy.
Yeah.
But with the Crunchyroll sale that was mentioned in the chat, I ordered a lot of Gundam Blues that I didn't already have. So at this point, I believe that I do have every available Gundam Blu-ray set for the UC timeline, Universal Century. And I have a few things outside of that timeline. Like I do have all of Wing. I do have G Gundam because I love Gundam, not even ashamed. So those are the things that I got. And then I did get some other manga, but I don't feel like getting up right now. You definitely can't see it, but like there's on the side, there's a new Vash figure. Like right there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's that's Trigun Stampede Vash. And then that's the original Trigun Vashes.
Nice. Let's see. I had to say something about Gundam. What was it? Oh, so you got every UC Blu-ray?
I'm pretty sure I do. From like the Origins, like timeline wise, from Gundam Origins and the original series and the movie compilations, all the way down to Turn A Gundam.
Because I'm gonna. How do I say this without offending some fans out there? Not everything in the UC timeline is excellent. There are a couple stuff hidden throughout that you'll come across. Just saying. I'm not gonna mention what, just in case somebody out there might like everything, but I'm looking forward to your journey through the UC.
Yeah, when I am able to do it, but it's just something like I wanted to start by watching the movie trilogy,
Yes.
but it's not dubbed, and I couldn't watch it while working. That was literally why I was like, I have to watch other stuff because I can't watch while working. So I
You
need to find time to sit down and actually watch when I can pay attention.
I'll record a voiceover of the movie and send it to you, so you
But
can play both audios at the same time.
the original series, the original Gundam, Mobile Suit
Yeah,
Gundam anime, I do have dubbed, but I wanted to do the movies because it's condensed. Um, so I could have started a long time ago, but I just after that happened, it kind of threw off my trajectory, and now I'm like pretty behind on reading as well.
yeah,
And I wanted to try and get through a bunch of reading before traveling for Anime NYC.
that's gonna be fun.
Yes, but I always fall even further behind on my reading because of conventions.
Being Queenie's in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. If you have Seed Blu-rays, as well as the Blu-ray for the movie, should be coming out in the near future, I imagine.
I know Bean Queen is a big Seed fan.
What is this slander? I am not a hater for Seed. That's my favorite Gundam show.
I haven't
that's
picked
why-
it up yet though, because I wanted to focus on finishing collecting UC, which I
Yeah.
just did, and then from there I would start going to the other outside of
after colonies or whatever.
right. So everything else, like I know I already mentioned that I have a couple things that are outside of UC, but like I will do the rest of it later, one franchise at a time, or one
Nice.
series at a time.
For anybody wondering that's new, Gundam Seed is what Gundam Wing was to a lot of people discovering Gundam for the first time. So Seed was my wing, if that makes sense. So even though some people don't like it, I love it. And I have it on DVD because that's how old I am, where I collected that series as it was coming out on DVD with the special edition box sets. But I haven't gotten around to upgrading to Blu-ray. I need to, but at the same time, like, there's no rush. I'll get to it eventually. Of course, Warren didn't like Seed. What the hell, man?
He actually did. He just says the opposite.
Okay. No, not that. There we go. Only Gundam series that I enjoyed was 08 MS Team and G Gundam. Everything else is mid. I disagree wholeheartedly. But that's okay. That's the beauty of life, you know? The idea of getting into Gundam overwhelms me. I've seen high praise for Thunderbolt, though. The manga specifically. The show was good, too. It doesn't adapt everything, obviously, just a handful of things, because there's only 2 Blu-rays, but it's good.
It's overwhelmed me too. That's why like I did one hard part, which was spend the money.
Yeah.
And the other hard part, which is actually sitting down and watching it. But it'll be fun, like such a diverse franchise with so many series that have spanned like from different creators over the course of the past 40 years or something. It's fun to just look at something like that as a whole tapestry of media, and knowing that like you're not going to have great feelings about every single piece of it, but it to me it feels very similar to when I started my journey of, well, it's different, but it's a little bit similar to the feeling that I had when I was starting my journey of reading every X-Men comic, which I did up to a point, and then I stopped and I like skipped ahead about 10 years, and then I kept going, and then I never went back. So I basically didn't read most of the 90s X-Men comics because I was just kind of tired of where I was, and I was like, I just want to. But anyway, I will one day get back to that.
James, you're not alone, buddy. I enjoy SD Gundam.
The feeling though of like this is such a big thing, and there's so many different creators and so many different things, and I know that like I'm gonna love some of this, I'm gonna hate some of this, and a lot of it might just be right in between, is so intriguing to me, just as a consumer of media. So that's kind of the same place where I am with Gundam right now, and it's just so daunting. I wish I had a partner to like whip me in the shape about it, like someone who's like, hey, tonight we're watching this, but like I don't have anyone that's trying to do the same stupid task that I'm trying to do. And also I'd keep on being like, I can't do tonight, I need to catch up on my reading. So
that's a fun problem to have because I am that way with other stuff, and like I wanna see everything and read everything and play everything all at the same time, and I don't have time for all three. So, but I believe in you, and I know you'll do it.
Someday it'll
Yes.
happen.
I have. I mostly collect the UC stuff. I've been wanting. I have a wish list on the Crunchyroll store and the Bezos website and stuff, where I have most of the After Colonies alternate universes that I want to own, but uh, don't feel the need to rush out and get them unless they start selling out, and then the FOMO hits or whatever. But for now, I'm good.
No, dude.
I just like owning the UC stuff, and maybe one day I'll upgrade Seed. Who knows? But that stuff costs money, you know.
I put a wish list. I have I think 30 more sets that I don't have, which is
Hell yeah.
crazy. Like it's crazy because looking at how much I already have, and I still have 30 more sets to go.
Yeah. Are you gonna get the ones with the gunpla with the kids are playing? I'm not a fan of that series, but it has a huge fan base.
I don't know. Like I think that's what I would save for absolute last.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And then maybe
Do
pick
that.
up the first one and see what I feel about, or like watch some of it somewhere and see how I feel about. I don't know, because it's definitely the one that like, as far as things go, I'm not as interested in. But I don't want to. I don't want to like
Builders, yeah.
not give something a chance because that's not fair.
See, even X-Men, I'm opposites because I like Trial of Gambit and Onslaught. I have no opinion about that stuff whatsoever. So
I feel like a lot of, at least the X-Men fans that I am friends with, really like Trial of Gambit. And as far as Onslaught goes, it's more bad on the like kind of a lot of the tie-ins and crossovers, and on the side of the other characters that were involved in it, like the Avengers, etc. But as far as the X related stuff, because there was enough buildup towards what had happened, I guess, and it was just another piece of the tapestry for the X-Men. It feels like something that they appreciate a little bit more, at least from a certain age. Or maybe I'm just
probably. Oh my god, I had something to say and I forgot. Fantastic.
Do you want to go into the actual topics, or do we want to talk a little bit about what we already kind of?
Oh, sure. Let's roast the Crunchyroll store. I'm down for that. I'm upset. I'll go first real quick. I'm upset for stuff that we've already talked about where it's so disorganized. And for a brief moment in time, like 3 months ago or 4, I don't know, it was working pretty okay. And we would do the show and we would have the listings. And I was happy about that. It was missing a couple random things, but hey, then something happened where they updated their thing or their inventory or website, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that field. And everything became a jumbled mess. And it's still like that to this day. The site is slow for some reason. And I placed an order with them at the start of July, specifically July 2nd, right? That was the first week. Yeah. First week of releases, July 2nd. Yeah. And the books I got, I'll be honest, I didn't get them from our sponsor because they weren't available over there. So I thought, all right, I'll go to the Crunchyroll store. On the day of, they were still listed as pre-order, so that means they weren't there. But I went ahead and did that anyways. I thought I'll probably get them that week or next week or something. No, I waited 6 weeks for that thing to finally arrive and ship. Like, holy moly, what are we doing? That is so weird. And then I don't have a lot of options aside from our sponsor, that site, or maybe go to the Bezos website. The less of that I use, the better. And I went with the Crunchyroll store, and I'm upset because I had to wait so long. So now I'm not doing that anymore. what were the books, if you're wondering? Blessed Volume 2 and See Your Eternity Volume 2019 or something. I could have gone with the Bezos website, but that was expensive, believe it or not, even with free shipping and the other stuff. The Crunchyroll store was still slightly cheaper. So I went that route, bit me in the butt, and I had to wait 6 whole weeks to get 2 flimsy little books. And they're not even here yet. They have not arrived, but it shipped 6 weeks later. That's what I meant. I still don't have them technically. Does any other retailer other than B&N, BAM, and the Bezos ship Webtoons manhwa? I don't know about that. Do you know?
Any other retailers besides them? Wait,
I don't know of any.
Like specifically from like published by Webtoons, because what's it called? Crunchy does have a Webtoons section, unless we're like specifically trying to get away from Crunchy. I think that IST has carried some from Webtoons Unscrolled. I'm assuming Tower of God and I'm not good with those
the Jungle Jam thing.
Juice. Well, Jungle Juice I think is Lezen, so it's not specific, and it's from Eyes.
Oh, never mind.
But Webtoon Unscrolled has a bunch of stuff on their own, but I know that Crunchy does carry some of it, if not most of it, and IST might carry some of that. God of High School, yeah, okay. I'm just not good sometimes at first with the number of times that I'm on the internet and like I see someone say an acronym and I have to go and search like that acronym plus the context, and then I'm like, oh yeah, of course, it's way too many times. So my frustrations with Crunchyroll have a similar origin or the same origin with Geo, and it really like spawns out of the fact that like every month we try to use, like we were, as Gio said, using Crunchyroll as our means to show every new release in our monthly shows. And before the migration, we were using Right Stuff, and Right Stuff worked perfectly for this because the site was so organized, and the way that you could organize and search in basically any way that you wanted made it so easy to use for what we needed. And then, as Gio mentioned, all of a sudden, one day, randomly, and I feel like we noticed because we were trying to do the show and we were like, what happened? Like, it was just out of order. And it was really bad because I use it for my stuff as well, for my channel. Anytime I do my my buyer's guide videos, which obviously mine's delayed if you're paying attention this month because I've just been so busy. Anytime I do the buyer's guide videos, that's what I was using. And it's very easy to just put like all pre-orders in order of release and then find we didn't have to do this with Right Stuff because Right Stuff would put the date on the listing, like on the listing here, underneath the name. But now, like, they don't put the date there, so you have to actually find which books are for which days. And that's why when we're doing those shows, I'll be like, which week are we on? Are we still on the first week, the second week?
And by the way, sorry to interrupt, this is the latest, oldest entry in Speedgrapher. And if I click on it real quick, it's November. And we're just starting August.
And another thing about that book I've had since like June.
Oh,
I have a copy of Speedgrapher on my shelf. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with that and some other books. Like I've seen people online when I posted about it the other day about Crunchy saying about how like this book was supposed to come out on this date, but it's available everywhere else, but for some reason not available on Crunchyroll.
Also, nowhere does it say this is Titan. At all.
They don't say anything about the publishers. So anyway,
Yeah, go keep going.
we all that stuff is terrible, sucked, and we dealt with it. Like we tried to figure out ways around it for a couple months or something, and I got like, and I tried to search my email for this, but I got an email from a guy that it was so weird when I first like got the email. It was from some just account that I did not know. I was like, who the hell is this?
Also, why are there figures here? I clicked on manga and pre-orders,
Oh my god!
and now it's showing me Nendoroids. What the hell?
So
Sorry, I had to butt in.
I can't find it right now, but it was a random email from someone, and then I looked at it, and inside the email, the guy was like, "Hey, my name is whatever, and I am this position with Crunchyroll." And I looked him up on like LinkedIn, and I found him, and he had just started working like a couple weeks prior, and he's like, "I saw your video about Crunchyroll or Right Stuff shutting down officially, like the when it actually went down, and about Crunchyroll taking over." And he's like, I just, as someone who, is a voice in the collector circle and all that stuff, and someone who like was a big customer of Right Stuff, and now, is ordering from Crunchyroll, I want to know what your thoughts are on the whole transition and how things have been. And I was like, after I figured out who this person was, took me a little while because it was really random. Because I guess he didn't have a work email yet. It was just from his personal which is stupid. I got a work email day one, not even day one, before I even started. Anyway, so I respond and I tell him everything. I was like, look, here's all the stuff that like about the store that is bad now, like in comparison. And I was like, all of the reasons why. And I told him like, I currently order the vast majority of my manga from our sponsor. I do want to say that, instocktrades.com. But at the time, I did not. And even though InStock Trades offered lower prices on anything that they carried than what Crunchyroll had, I ordered from Crunchyroll because they were faster, or not faster, Right Stuff. Right Stuff was faster at getting stuff shipped at that time. They had things available like 2 weeks earlier, their actual release date. And as someone who was trying to keep up with and like talk about these books, it was nice to have them in my hands and able to read them a week or two early, as compared to waiting for the actual release date and then getting it a week later from IST. So because of that fact, I was like, I care more about that than I do about the price. I will pay a little bit extra to get these things earlier. And also there was a lot of stuff that IST like doesn't carry from the really small publishers just because of distributor things. But so I explained that. I told him like, I was ordering from Right Stuff even when they weren't the cheapest because of all this stuff, but you took all of that away. I don't understand what the hell's up with the membership anymore, because it was supposed to be something where your membership transferred. My membership never transferred. My order history didn't transfer. It was supposed to transfer. My wish lists also didn't transfer. They were supposed to transfer. All the things that they told us, and I paid a lot of attention to that stuff. All of those things were supposed to happen, and I didn't get any of it. And I'm not saying that no one got any of that, but I didn't get any of it. And I'm like,
No,
I spent a lot of money with y'all. Like, I don't want to like sound like I'm trying to like boast or anything, but I spent a ton of money with Right Stuff, and I'm not trying to say that I want preferential treatment, but it's like an account that spent that amount of money. Like, I don't know why it didn't work right for me for my account. I don't know. So and my account just got lost completely. My account that I have now is I had to start a brand new one. So everything was lost. And I told the guy that, and I was like, if there's a way to recover stuff, let me know, because I would love to recover all of this stuff that I had, because I look back at my old orders for various reasons. I had a lot of things on wish lists that I've probably since already bought anyway, but like, you know, it was
good to have nonetheless.
all of these different things that were just gone. And now like they have a monthly, because before it was an annual thing, it was less than $20, and now it's a monthly thing because you have to subscribe to Crunchyroll, which I don't watch enough anime on streaming, even if I should, to suffice to pay that, you know. So all these things, and I let him know all this stuff, but I was like, by far the worst thing about the site now, and it just got worse recently, is the search function. And I told him, you know, I use this for a lot of things, for my channel, for another channel that I'm part of. I used the search function previously, and now I go on there and everything's out of order. I'll click pre-orders and it will show me things that are available. I'll click available and it will show me things that are unavailable. You can't see things that are out of stock anymore. Like it'll say, you know how it was on Right Stuff where it would be like unavailable but expecting more, and then it was just out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
There is no it's just a black bar that says it's unavailable, which that is like the expecting more. You don't get that out of stock option that allows you to know, like, or that they're not getting more, that allows you to know, oh, this thing is no longer being printed. This is either out of print or there's no scheduled reprint. So those things, I was like, that doesn't exist anymore. I can't search by author. I can't search by ISBN. I can't search by, I can search by publisher technically, because it's a category, but the publisher name doesn't appear anywhere on the listing, which that's even more frustrating, because just knowing how websites work, like the fact that you can highlight a publisher on the side panel there and say like, show me everything from Denpa, means that it has something in the assets, you know, behind the scenes that tells the computer, tells the internet, this is a Denpa. It tells the site, this is from Denpa. But it doesn't have it for you to look at. And that's the part I'm like, I need that. It doesn't have anything to tell me what date. Like I have to click through to the title. So I explained in detail every single one of these complaints. And I know that like I maybe to some people I sound like I'm just kind of whining and bitching about it, but like
no. Don't worry
these
about
were
that.
all, and if I do, that's fine. Like I don't care. It's like first world problems, and that's why I've kept it in for so long. Is because I was like, it's not a big deal. It's just a website. It's not, but it's like every month when we have to go through like trying to use, because there's not a lot of good substitutions out there. The one that we tried to use that you had found, the Yata whatever, they were missing so much. Yeah, Yatatachi. Like they for some reason only had like half of Yen Press, and they didn't have Tokyo Pop on there. They might now. And they don't have like any of the small publishers. So that's why I had to go in and start making a separate, like, yeah. I was doing a portion of all of the stuff myself because Yatatachi doesn't have everything. So I would go in there and be like, here's everything from all of the small publishers that you might not know, but these are the books that are kind of more the most important ones every month, because they're the ones that people don't pay the most attention to, because they're the ones that you don't know are coming out. And those are the ones that, in my opinion, you should want to know about, the stuff that you don't already know about. So they don't have any of that on there. And further, even considering every other site that was recommended to me, none of them deal with other media outside of manga, manhwa, comics, and light novels. They don't deal with anime and vinyl and stuff like that, and that's something that we want to look at every month as well when we do those presentations. It's just all home media. So Mary Manga Company has the best website out of all the ones that I've looked at. I sent it to Gio the moment someone told me to check it out. I looked through the website. They had everything, and you can organize it in a really good way. The only thing I think they might have not had was maybe one of the Fantagraphics titles, but like that was already an issue on Crunchyroll anyway.
Yeah.
Mary Manga they don't do anime, so I still have to use Crunchy for that stuff. So anyway, I went off on Twitter and I just posted a thread of like 3 or 4 messages about how I can't believe that the website is this bad. And I tagged them and I said, like, I had someone reach out to me. I expressed all my grievances. and I was told that they were working on updating the site. That's the response I got was, hey, you know, thanks for being honest. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the feedback. We are working on some updates to the site. And nothing has changed. Nothing changed within like a month after that. And so I complained directly to Crunchyroll and I said, I already spoke to so-and-so who has this position within your company. And they told me that y'all were updating the site, but it's been another month and I've seen nothing. And now it's been even more months. Like it's been probably 6 months since that happened and there's nothing. And now I mentioned a little bit earlier, I know that it can take a while to update websites if they are doing a full, like if it's not just like fixing little things, if they're doing a full thing. I know it can take a while, but these are massive oversights, which on a store like this, a storefront, these should be fixed. And they should have taken the time to fix these things immediately after whatever the issue was.
Yeah. And the thing was that they did fix it, but then it just crashed all over again. Like this is the 8th page, and as you can see here, random stuff that is unrelated to the current month is listed in here. If I go, like, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Joe, Sarutobi.
So I like I said, I do most of my manga shopping via in-stock trades. Anything that they don't have, I do still use Crunchyroll. So any publisher, all the small stuff, anything that they don't get, I do still use Crunchyroll. And for any anime and for most figures and stuff, I do still use Crunchyroll. So like I can actively. That's the thing is, a lot of people on Twitter were complaining about like having issues with orders. I haven't personally experienced any issues with my actual orders.
Same here.
I've gotten my stuff, and I feel like I probably have had less issues than you've had, because I know there's some times when stuff gets a little wacky, but you know, because you're outside of the continental US.
Yeah. But for the most part, no complaints whatsoever with the shipping. I've gotten stuff that even though they ship it media mail, I've gotten it in like a week, and it arrived just fine because they were using this. They're still using the same right stuff method to ship stuff.
Yeah.
But the complaints are with the actual user interface of that website.
It would be great if they brought back the same types of discounts and the same types of sales that they used to do. That would be fantastic. But the main complaints that we have is just like how hard it is to actually use this website and find everything.
And they even like raised the shipping price, which was a thing that Right Stuff did that nobody liked. So they went ahead and we'll copy that too. So now it's like $7 for shipping.
But the recommendations, the people did come in and they're like, you know, you should try whatever. And I was like, to be clear, I'm not looking for a retailer. I have a retailer. Mm-hmm. I have a plug, you know. But I looked, like I said, I looked at Mary Manga Company and I like their website. I didn't have any issues with the website loading time and all that stuff personally. It does look like the type of thing that we could probably use here for our calendar for all of the releases. I don't see myself ordering from them because of how terrible the situation became with Takara Cafe.
And, that was a saga.
That was something else. And the fact that I know that they're not exactly the same, but like it is a small store run by like a single person with maybe a couple of people helping. I did see, like, even though I don't follow their account, I did see on my Twitter like the announcement that they made about like, you know, we have to kind of stop things for a little bit so we can catch up, and dude needs to take some time, and I respect that, but like I can't, like, you know, I couldn't put an order in with a company where I'm worried, do they have too much business? And I also can't, like, I had someone comment on the post saying that I should give them a boost by mentioning them because my platform would help them to gain business. That's the last thing that I want to do, is give a platform or give a company business
That's
when
already having, yeah.
having to slow down and like take a break and stop orders because they can't keep up. I don't want to bring them more business when they're in that state. Like maybe if they get to a better point and they catch up and they hire people and it doesn't wind up repeating the exact same stuff that happened with Takara, which I didn't fall for that stuff either. I made one order with Takara. I think I talked about it on here. It took like 3 months to ship. That was a whole thing. So
shout out to Kane. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier.
yes, thank you for coming in for all of our ramblings and rantings. But I can't take the chance on anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me for me to like, if I'm me making an order and it's, you know, Tuesday at 11 a.m. my time, and IST just uploaded all the new stuff, and I look there and I get all the stuff, and I know like this is going to ship within the next like 4 or 5 days probably, and I'll get it like another 4 or 5 days after that. That I feel good about that. And if I make an order with Crunchyroll, I know it was probably hard for me to piece together this order because I had to search through the dungeons of Crunchyroll's depths to find all the items that I need. But I put the order together. It's probably going to ship in the next 24 to 48 hours, and I'll get it within the next 3 or 4 days after that. Like, I feel good about doing that. But then if I go to a new place and it's like the prices are pretty good, but I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get this, and I don't know, like they're already giving us warnings that things are going to take a minute. Like, having looked in online retail, it's not a good sign. A water
ranting is good for the soul to an extent, so it doesn't make it toxic. Let's see. So let's move on from that. Too much negativity around the stores. Let's talk about some negativity regarding a series that came out. Why not? Let's go for it. Did you hear about Secret Steward by Viz Media? It was all over the Twitter space.
I surprisingly did not.
Okay. I'm going to spoil it. Folks, do you mind the spoiler, Riley?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put up the spoiler tag. If you don't want to know anything about Secret Steward, wait until where's the damn thing? Here, there we go. Spoilers. I'm going to spoil the damn thing. And it, like, part of me found it funny, but at the same time I'm like, no thank you, I'm good. All right, so let me share this again. Spoilers for Secret Steward. You can read it for free on the Viz website if you want to go ahead and do that. When you see the spoiler tag off, then you know we're back to regular business. I don't know. I don't like spoiling things, so forgive me. Let's do this. Okay, so this manga showed up. It's called Secret Steward.
Oh, it's from the Deadpool guy, isn't it?
Yes, that is part of the spoiler. The manga launched on Shonen Jump Plus manga service on Thursday. Manga creator Arata Momose is coloring the manga's colored pages. Romantic comedy manga centers on a trainee butler and his willful young mistress. The spoiler here is that I'm gonna show it. Whatever. Let's do the thing. Let's read it for free. You're reading this thing and you're like, okay, it's a weird manga, you know, kids down and out, and she offers him a job as a steward. Cool, whatever. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I like this drawing with the coloring. That's cute, I guess. And then all of a sudden, they get into some romantic hijinks, and she's like, well, it'd be great if you would come over and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Whoa, wait a minute, I'm gonna go. All right, let's go. I'll be by your side now and forever." And then this thing happens. Gio, this shouldn't be considered a spoiler. It should be considered a sincere PSA. All right, so this happens. No, sorry, wait. Okay, he goes out. He tumbles because he's an idiot, and then this happens.
Oh,
He dies, and here's a spoiler that got ruined by the internet, so I do apologize, but it's already out there, so whatever. Look who's driving the bus.
Jesus Christ.
So this is an elaborate one-shot advertisement to say that the Deadpool manga is back, and it's on the Viz app.
Get down.
So it turns into a Deadpool manga, and Deadpool is fighting against the kid that just got run over. Turns out he's an insect thing. I don't know. And they fight off, and look at that wonderful. I do like this colored page, though. I will admit it's pretty cool. My issue with this is that I appreciate the tactic, but as soon as I saw this, I immediately went, "Ugh, all right, I'm not gonna read this anymore." I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the character, and or the manga version of the character. So this is a easy pass for me, and I feel like I got duped into reading something that wasn't. So this is just an elaborate ad. I don't know how they're gonna collect it later. They're gonna include it in the actual manga volume whenever it gets picked up for a physical. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were annoyed. Some got mad because this was easily spoiled by people and like famous news people on Twitter. I'm not gonna name, but I guess if you like manga Deadpool, there you go. He's back and shooting up people, I guess. Deadpool Samurai second season. That was the big thing at the end.
I am a pretty decent sized Deadpool fan. I've enjoyed the character for quite a while, but I personally thought that Deadpool Samurai was not good at all.
I tried reading some of it and did not like it at all.
It's just not a good interpretation of the character. It's based, to me, if I recall my feelings on it, it was as if someone was told to write Deadpool after only having seen the trailer for the Deadpool movie, and that's all they had to go off of, and they were like, go for it. There was like maybe a couple scenes where it was kind of silly, but like as far as for someone who's read at that time, at least I'd read pretty much every issue of Deadpool comics that exist.
Then you have most of the books too, or all of them.
They're all on that last shelf. The second to the top shelf has Deadpool by Joe Kelly, Deadpool Classic, Deadpool and Cable, Deadpool by Dan Way 1 and 2, Deadpool and Company, Deadpool by Dugan and Posehn. And then there's the Deadpool World's Greatest hardcovers, and then the Deadpool mini books. Like I enjoy the heck out of Deadpool. I talked. Do you remember when we did the interview with Fabian Nicieza?
I wasn't on that show, but I do remember it.
I was on that one, and I was like excited, and I was like, "Look, I got all the Deadpool omnis." It's like you're the actual creator of the character. I have strong opinions about the actual creator of the character, and the fact that it's not Rob Liefeld. Oh
hell yeah, I love that. But we're not going to go on that rant tonight. Don't worry, folks.
That's for another day.
But I love that rant. I love when you go off on that.
That's fun, I guess. Like, but at the same time, like, I'm like, man, more of like one of the worst interpretations of the character. Like, this is a funny idea as a way to introduce it, and as Tim said, it's absolutely within character. But like, it would be funnier if it was actually like, I would appreciate it more if it was for a version of the character that I actually enjoyed.
So Yeah, Viz Media publishes Secret Steward manga by the Deadpool Samurai creators, but the surprise, it's not actually that. An epic troll, I agree with that 100%. And I don't know, I was put off by it, and because it was already spoiled. But I do like the tactic. I thought it was pretty clever. I love to see something like that happen. But since I'm not a fan of the samurai manga, nor am I huge on Deadpool, I'm like, no, I'm good. But again, if people out there love it, that's fantastic. More power to you. I have no problem with that whatsoever. This is just me goofing and gaffing here and telling you how I feel. Some people in the chat like it, some do not. Next Imaginaut, thank you for joining. Jaime, thank you. You're a tough customer. I thought it was fun. Epic Troll, I detest a Deadpool. Pass, don't like Deadpool. Oversaturated? Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
You know what's funny is like he stopped appearing. Like there was a little while like he didn't even have a series.
A series, I remember that. Yeah.
And it was so funny because all of those books that I just ran off, a lot of them happened like within a short amount of time. They were all, and it was like, damn, like Marvel. It was the first character where I felt like Marvel is doing everything to publish all of his works in premium format, or all of his series in premium format, and then it stopped. And and it was weird because it was like the timing was odd because I think they just stopped before even the marketing window for Deadpool 2. And I was like, they're not even releasing like omnibus editions or anything to try and like lead into this movie. And they didn't do anything for Deadpool and Wolverine. It like I don't even think they were doing reprints of existing books. And it's just an observation that I had is it's so weird like that Marvel Comics has kind of turned their back on the character, and going from a time when he had 3 monthly titles and was appearing almost every week in random places like issues of Hulk and Miss Marvel, etc. And now like he's basically just relegated into his singular ongoing series.
I actually just noticed just now that a friend of the channel, Very Fine Condition, is doing was doing a Deadpool stream, and now we're talking about Deadpool.
That stream was my idea.
Oh, look at that.
I was gonna be on it, but I was like, I'm working and I would have to like get off early probably, and then immediately go there and then leave early to get on here.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah. So there you go. Coincidences. Let's take this stupid spoiler tag off. So yeah, there you go. Secret Steward. What a fantastic manga that was. All right, go read it on the Viz app. Let's see. I do have 2 first reads here that I want to talk about for you guys. The first one is this bad boy here, which I thought was pretty interesting. No Name. This is by an international crowd, not Japanese creators. They got picked and are being published in Manga Plus and Shueisha. I thought that was really cool, so I wanted to give it a shot. It's called No Name. It's by Rafael Jaki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Machine Gamu. That's awesome. In a world where people's names grant them superhuman powers, 2 agents from the Nordic Naming Bureau, or the NNB, an agency specialized in investigating crimes committed by namers, handle the case of a man and his missing wife and son. So I did not know anything about what was happening here, but I saw like wolves, and I thought, is this a manga about werewolves? What is happening? I want to check this out. And then I learned that it's from an international crew here. You're going to see here in the first page. Nope, not this page. Sorry. There we go. Beast of a story brought to you by overseas creators commencing serialization. overseas-oriented manga sharing platform on Manga Plus, creators by Shueisha. I thought that was really awesome, so I gave this a shot, and I do like it. I do feel like the world building and aspects and all that stuff is somewhat, to me at least, it felt somewhat messy. I quite. It took me a little bit to jump on board and figure out, like, oh, okay, this is that, whatever. I had to scroll back a couple times to figure out if I missed something. So apparently, in this world, you get like superpowers with the naming ability, but in these first two chapters that are listed here, we don't really go into the origin of that. I just assumed that was that and went with it, whatever. And when you impart a name on like a child, that name grants him power. But if you name him after yourself, which is what happens in the first chapter, this abusive man who has control over this woman forces her to get pregnant and all that, and wants to give his name to his son so he will inherit his powers or something. It could be like totally different. It could be like somebody having a name and that produces like ice powers or beast powers or whatever power. I don't know. I don't know the limits of this manga yet, but it's very superhero inspired, obviously. And this is the first case that the two main characters are tackling, which you can see here on the cover. Let me go over here real quick. And in this first scene, you get a random couple, and you see the dynamic of the whole naming stuff. And the bureau helps people, and they, I think, force individuals to name their kids, and they give this man a name for the kid, and the kid's going to be a farmer or something with the name Jorn or Jorn, however you pronounce it. I don't know. So I saw this and I thought, oh, look at that. It's going to be like a werewolf thing. Not necessarily. The main character, the dude, he has abilities where he summons like spirit wolves. One of them is a defense wolf. The other is an offensive one, which I thought was pretty clever. I like that. And this girl over here, she turns into a giant bear, and she's super badass. I love her character. So it's sort of like fantastical. It's got that sci-fi element, fantasy with noir aspects, because this is a detective story. And the art looks really good. I like it. I like the character designs, and I do recommend you guys check it out if you're interested. The dialogue sometimes was a little bit corny, and they use a lot of Western profanity, which I thought, like, yeah, this is an international thing. Lots of F-bombs dropped randomly, where normally in a regular series, nobody would use an F-bomb, for example. They use it here, which I thought was pretty fun. It reminded me of reading like an edgy IDW or Image comic or something like that. But it's cool. I like the whole thing, and I hope they're able to keep. I hope they don't get canceled. Is what I'm gonna say, so they can build on the lore and stuff, and we can learn more about the whole naming process, because that sort of took me a minute to figure out. It seemed easy, but I wasn't super quick on it. But let me see if I can find the wolves here. Yeah, there we go. So he summons them somehow. We don't have an explanation as to how it happens, but it happens, and super cute. Look at that. And let me spoil the bear transformation real quick here as well. Look at that. That's awesome. With a friggin' jacket. If you like feet, there you go. That's a feet pick right there for you. Sorry. But I like it. It's like grungy looking and kind of cool. I like the vibes. It's set in Europe, obviously, not in Japan. So I'm excited for the possibilities of more fleshed out international creators being published in Japan. That's always awesome to see. So for that alone, I do recommend it. So there you go.
Something about it, with the whole the government like handing them the thing reminds me of Ikigami.
Okay.
where they, except with that, it was like they hand them the thing that tells them they're gonna die
Yeah.
because they put the thing in them when they were a baby. But
Here are
it,
the two wolves, by the way. Sorry.
that plus like Bloody Roar, Primal Fury, were the people that turn into animals.
I do like this wolf. I don't know why he only has one eye. So is he like a were cyclop wolf or something? They don't know. They don't say anything, but we're gonna find out. Hopefully. Let me scroll down real quick. I don't want to spoil everything. There you go. It's action packed. It's interesting. What more can I say? Go check it out. You can read it for free on the Manga Plus website. The first 2 chapters are up. The other manga that I read is this one. I don't know if you've heard of this one. Oversleeping Takahashi.
I have not.
I did not know. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. I did not check. Sorry, I'm not a professional. It's just likes to joke. This says from the one shot of the same name that amassed over a million views. I don't know about that, but I'll believe it. All right. So this is the tale of a classmate who is nonchalantly late to school, but his true identity is ... I thought this was a lot of fun, and I actually do want to continue reading it. So far, we have 3 chapters here. And in a nutshell, this tells the story of homeboy here, Takahashi, who somehow every single day, every single morning, he shows up late to school. And he's always he always has an excuse. And everybody's like, man, this guy's like super tardy and irresponsible and all that stuff. But we know from the opening chapters that he's got some sort of magical ability and he's stopping like demons and ghosts and stuff. So long story short, there's nothing to spoil here for you guys. This is the premise of the series. The class president is this young girl here. She is determined to figure out what is happening with Takahashi. Why is he always late? He's always using the excuse that he overslept. So she wants to find out why. Tags along, shenanigans ensue, and we find out that this crow gave this 3-legged crow gave our protagonist superpowers. Essentially, he's not immortal, but he does have abilities like super strength and speed and the standard stuff. And for some reason, demons and ghosts, Yude and whatnot, show up in the morning. And apparently the ghosts mentioned that there is a purpose to that. There's a reason. I don't know yet. I'm not up to date. I haven't read the 3rd chapter. So that's why his crime fighting, if you will, to save people is early in the morning. So he's always going to be late to school. I thought that was a pretty wacky twist to the whole superhero teen thing. Obviously, nobody knows about this. Nobody knows that he's a high school student. But yeah, I'm excited. I like the art. I dig the premise, and I do recommend it. It's pretty action-packed. Also, they do show this ghost here on the friggin' train, which I thought was really cool. Let me scroll down a bit here so you can see it. I thought this was pretty cool, how they blended action comedy and a little bit of horror. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Look at that. She's after the young girl's face. So I don't want to ruin everything because I want people to check out the chapter and see what happens to this ghost. But I thought it's fun. Check it out. 3 chapters so far. I like the art. It's scratchy and detailed enough that I vibe with it. Again, this is Oversleeping Takahashi from Koki Aguro. You can read it for free on the Manga Plus site. And like I always say, if you keep up with it on a weekly basis, you can read it for free legally, supporting the creators and all that stuff. That's always good. So there you go. Those are my 2 current new reads. I think you would dig it.
I have the opposite problem of this, dude. I never oversleep. I always wake up before my alarm. my problem, which I like just today started to try and take steps towards, was like I wake up earlier than I need to, and then I just sit there in my bed and like look at my phone in the dark. And so today I was like, you know what? When I wake up, I'm just gonna get up and take a shower, and just start my day. And I did, and I had like an hour of free time to like get ready or not get ready. I had an hour of free time to read before I had to log in for work. So it was a good plan. I'm undersleeping Takahashi.
So, are you interested in checking out either of these titles here?
I think the No Name seems interesting to me mostly. There's just a lot of very interesting, strange concepts.
Yeah. Oversleeping is like One Punch Man-esque without the One Punch thing. It has that vibe going for it, I think. Or it could have the potential to be a thing. Hopefully, people read it. So there you go. The writer did writing for the Cyberpunk show, I believe. For No Name? I did not know that. That's awesome. Really enjoyed No Name. My sleep schedule is so goofy. I've attempted to start going to bed at 9 every night, possibly, but I'm kind of failing. I go to sleep at midnight, and that's not good, but I'm so used to it by now that I can't fall asleep earlier. So as soon as I see, okay, it's midnight, I can go to bed. So now after I'm done here, I'm just going to waste away a couple hours until it's midnight, and then I'll go to bed.
I have the same issue that I had when I was a kid, which is like I can't sleep in. So when I was younger, for instance, it didn't matter. When I went to sleep, I would always wake up at 7 in the morning. Just biological clock was like, it's 7, it's time to go. And it didn't really make sense because I woke up at like 6:30 to get ready for school when I was a kid. So I don't know why it's like 7 o'clock. Even on weekends, like I'd go and spend the night at a friend's house and we'd stay up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock playing video games. I'd be up 7 in the morning and like my friends' parents would be like, "Do you want coffee or something? What's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, Mrs. So-and-so." Like, and I still have that issue. I'll stay up until like midnight, 1 o'clock, and I wake up right at 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact of the matter. I could stay up until like I did once when I did like I had a 20 plus volume reading day. I stayed up reading from like midnight until 3 o'clock, and I went to sleep at 3 o'clock and still woke up at 7.
Oh wow!
And then I got right back to the reading, and I think I took an hour nap at like 11 a.m. or something. But at 7 o'clock, I got up and kept reading.
Nice. I have that problem too, Riley. It's brutal.
Glad I'm not the only one out there.
I'm a stay up late gremlin. If I don't have to work the next day, I'll probably go to bed like at 2 or 3 in the morning. You will usually find me here. I have the TV next to me, so I'll be playing on the Switch while I have like music or a podcast going or something. Or our friends, the shows that they do. Sometimes I'll just throw it on just to hear somebody talking while I play. Right now I'm playing Super Monkey Ball, the latest one. So that's been fun. Or reading.
Or enemies shows as well.
Yeah. Very Fine Condition and the Omnidog's Vault or whatever. I don't know.
I was a couple weeks ago. I hadn't stayed up so late in a little while, but like was up until about 3 o'clock because I wanted to finish the Lego set that I was building. I was like, I want to finish this before getting up. I'm going to show y'all the next Lego that I'm building because it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Tim, I also enjoyed Oversleeping Takahashi. I was afraid that the always being late gimmick may get old quick, and it has only been 3 chapters, but I get the feeling that it won't wear out too quickly. I like it. It's a fun idea of fighting monsters in the morning, because typically a superhero, they'll fight the bad guy after hours and at night, right, in the city. Here you have it like at the crack of dawn. That's awesome. Oh my God. What's the name of the car? The
One.
Ecto One. Nice.
This one's was a little bit pricey, I will say, but I went to the store looking specifically for the Jaws set that came out this week, and they didn't have it at a Target that's right next to my parents' house, but they had this a month ago when I went to that Target, and I didn't grab it, but I was like, if I go back there and they have it, I'll get it. It's retired. It's going out of stock right now. I don't think you can get it through Amazon specifically, and I don't think you can get it from the Lego store either. So it was one of those things where, like, if you are a Lego person, a brick collector, a brick head at all, it's one of those things where it's like you might still find these at retailers like Target, Walmart, etc.
So wait, so a lot of people want that, right? That's a desirable set to get.
Right now, it's like at the cusp of desire. Like,
Okay.
it is a cool set, but it's been out for a little while, and it is being retired currently. So you can't get it firsthand from a lot of retailers, but some retailers will still have them sitting around. And I think by the end of the year, it'll be officially like retired, and you'll see the Amazon prices climb. I think this was like 240 or 250, somewhere around there was how much it cost. And like on Amazon, I think it's already a little bit more the last time I checked. So not much more, but you'll see it go up. It's like when with as far as comic like omnibus and collected edition collecting, when you see books being put out to like Ollie's and like put on deep discount on like on IST, or when it shows up at like is it Hamilton Books, I think, the one that has super discounted books. When you start seeing a book go over there, you know that it's about to be like they're pushing it out of the warehouse, the distributors are, to make room for new titles, and it's on discount now, but you better get it because it's about to be unavailable. Like once that supply is gone, it's gone. So that's kind of the same thing as for this one. So when I saw that they still had it, I was like, dope. It's a sign from the Lego gods. I need to pick it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not a cheap hobby, and I try so badly to be good about it and only get like one, but it's like one of those things where I sometimes I read while I watch TV, but if it's something that I really want to pay attention to, I can't read, but I need to do something, or else I'll just like grab my phone. So building is perfect. And so I wind up always wanting something to build, and I'll be like sitting there like, I don't have something right now. I need to go buy a set. And so, but I try to limit it and just be like, well, what's coming out this month? The Jaws set. What's coming out next month, I think, is there's a Mario set, and I'm like, I'll just get that, and then it'll be fine. It's only like $100 something bucks, and then I'm like, I get it, and I finish building it, and then I'm like, damn it, now I need something else. I got to go get something else. The X-Men set that's coming out, though, I'm really excited about. There's
I bet. Yeah.
November, I think, and we just got some kind of I like leaks about the minifigures and stuff, and like it comes with a Sentinel that you can build.
That's awesome.
But it comes with Gambit, which I believe is the first time that Gambit's gotten a minifigure, so that's going to be really cool. But that's also going to be an expensive one. I think it's a $350 set.
Woo.
But the top tier ones, the ones that I should really be saving up for instead of buying a bunch of smaller sets. This is not a smaller set. This is small in comparison, but it's not a small set. But I should be saving up for the giant Millennium Falcon and AT-AT, because those are each like $800, $850.
And you're getting the Zelda one too, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's another big one. That one's September. October. Okay, so this month was Jaws, but also the Milano from Guardians. But the Milano is not like it's like 170 or 180. So it's, it's pricey, but it's not that like huge price. The Jaws set is like 150 or less. So again, like it's pricey for a toy, but it's not like that bad. And then next month is September. That is the tree, the Great Deku Tree. That one's a little pricier for the set because my whole thing is like 10 cents per brick is like a good price on average. And I think the set for the Great Deku Tree is $350, but it only has about like 3,000-ish pieces off the top of my head. I think that's the price on the pieces. It might be a little bit lower on each. So it is expensive, but it's the first time that we've gotten an official Zelda Lego. And so that's a really like an IP that I love. And I love and have loved Zelda so much that even when I was a kid, I could pull, I'll have to pull it out another time, but I used to have a little Link minifigure that I made out of like various parts and then just like coloring things on the little minifigure pieces that I made back when it was like pre-2000 or something like that. So this was like, I have to get this set regardless. Yeah. And then I don't know anything else that's coming out next month. Off the top of my head, I don't. October is Mario riding Yoshi pixel set. It looks like the pixels and you can wind a little thing.
It has a little crank. Yeah, that looks awesome.
And that one's like 130 or something, so not too bad and it's pretty decent size too. And then,
are you gonna get the Shadow Bust?
No, that looks terrible. And then November will be the X-Men set, and I don't know beyond that.
Yeah. But I do know of a website that does let you know in advance when cool books are coming out. You know about that?
I do too.
That's, of course, InStockTrades.com, your home for collected editions. You get your Omnibros, trade paperback, hardcovers, manga, and so much more for great discounted prices. Free shipping in the U.S. at $50 or more. Loyalty discount adds an extra 2% discount to your order if you make it on a week-by-week basis. And, of course, great packaging and wonderful customer service only when you visit our lovely sponsor, InStockTrades.com. Go check them out, InStockTrades.
Them to start carrying some Lego sets.
That should be fun. I hope Gambit is wearing a crop top.
Hey, if they don't do it this time, because I think he's just in his normal stuff, but that would be a really fun one for like the collectible minifigure sets where you buy like a random blind box. That would be a fun little variant.
I just looked up the Mario Yoshi Lego set and it's really cool. I don't collect. I love how they look. I can't fit it into my budget, so I'd rather stay out of that black hole. But I love looking at the Lego sets. They're always so cool. Look at that.
Instructions. It's only one book too, so it's not a huge. I've had ones that.
You showed us the Avengers Tower. That was like 3 books, right?
That one was 3 books. There's a Batman Shadow box that was 4 books actually.
Wow.
Really cool stuff.
Nice.
It's come a long way. It's the Legoing has come a long way.
Let's see if I missed any comments. Kane, that's kind of with me, but around 10 to 10:30, I have to go to bed. I wake up around 8-ish on weekends. My alarm is set for 7 a.m. Nice. Let's see. Audio always picks up from like 6 to 8, sometimes 9. I love that we went into a whole tangent of bed and sleeping patterns. That's
I'm
awesome.
happy to know that I'm not the only person out there who just can't sleep in.
Yeah.
I've tried so many things like blackout curtains, white noise to drown sound, whatever. I can't. Yeah, she decided to finally chill out.
That's awesome.
And her name is Toast, so now she's a loaf.
Perfect. Beautiful name. Love it. She's so cute. Let's scroll back a little bit. Did I get to everybody? Let's see. Folks, since we're wrapping up the show, let me remind you that you can find me on my channel. That is Manga Geekdom, where I talk about all the manga that I'm reading and previewing books and all that stuff. I just put out my version of the monthly releases, what I picked as the highly anticipated releases for August, if you want to check that out. Had a lot of fun doing that. It was funny, and I can tell you guys here because whatever. I struggled so much to make that video, and I told Tim about it on Discord that I don't have. I don't want to do the whole video where I name everything that's coming out. I want to make like something bite-sized for people, and what I would think are like, oh, here's like 15, 20 books, whatever. So I was looking at the August releases, and Seven Seas had the most volume ones out of everybody else in August. So more than half of the video is me going, here's a Seven Seas release, and then here's another Seven Seas release, and then here's another Seven Seas release. And a bunch of them were including the Ghost Ship titles. So I think that's the first time that I included not safe for work material, even though I don't show anything. So that I thought that was pretty fun. Like the sexy Oni girl thing that's fighting with the dude. It's an isekai, whatever. And then the big girl's omnibus as well, stuff like that. So, yay. But what about you, Insufferable Omnibus Collector? Where can people find you on the internet when you're not here with us goofing around?
My channel, The Omnibus Collector, YouTube, Omni Collector on Twitter. Those are the two places right now that I'm active. So that's all I'll say. And YouTube semi-active. I'm just trying to catch up on stuff. I really like. I've talked about it before, but often when I'm behind on stuff, it's because I'm trying to catch up on reading, and that's kind of where I am right now. So I do need to put out the monthly buyer's guide for this month to complement on what Gio's done over on his channel and what we did together over here. And
the
then
trifecta, baby.
Yes, after coming back from Anime NYC, I'll try to make sure I get a good comprehensive video of all the stuff that's been announced since the beginning of con season, and the little things between too that were not at conventions specifically.
Toast is adorable. I love her already.
She is definitely sometimes.
Amazing stream tonight. Thank you so much, Kane. Appreciate it. Even with the ranting, it's good for the soul. Amen. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Let's see. One final question.
No. Twitter is amazing. I would never give it up. For like all the worst aspects of that site are why it's also the best of all of them, because I get on every day and without fail it is the most entertaining thing, whether that's a good entertainment or
a bad. Yes, I agree.
Nothing
I'm
else.
on, and sorry to butt in, I am on Threads and Blue Sky, but it's I hate the other app a lot. I hate it. But there's something addicting about it, going in and seeing all the whiny people out there complaining about every single damn thing in the world. And I don't know, I got a kick out of it. And everybody's there. So I kind of wanted to toss my hat in the ring and participate. I have the Threads and Blue Sky, but it's very not as active as I would like.
I think also a lot of the like pages that use all of them, like official pages that we get information and news from, they just post like the same thing and then send it to all of them. So like, I just stay wherever the most chatter is about it. But yeah, I feel the same. We're stuck together forever.
Also, I've been on the freaking website before a bunch of people watching the stream were even on Twitter. I joined Twitter back in, oh my God, 2011, I think, when people were just like, oh, this is a tweet. I'm tweeting. I was in that crowd. So at this point, I'm a sucker for legacy. I'll remain until the site just crashes to the ground, and I'll go out in a blaze of glory with it, and then I'll move on to something else. It's not the end of the world.
If it goes down, yeah, it's going to be an amazing site, and I want to be there with it.
We're in a toxic marriage that either of us refuse to leave. That's the truth, yeah. If you're going to roll in the mud, might as well go to the deepest pit. I love how poetic we are right now. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
There we go. Sturman. How do I say that? Sturm.
I don't want to pretend like I can actually.
I can't say it. Last time that happened, somebody got pissed off and left the show. I'm not going to do it again.
Sturm and Drang.
Yeah, there we
go. Americanize that stuff, man.
Alrighty, so that's going to be it for now. Thank you, everybody, once again in the chat. You guys are lovely. Thank you all so much for joining. One final plug. Thank you, James. That's my Discord if you guys want to join. 2 weeks tomorrow, Kane will be there. That's awesome. I won't.
Yes,
but I will. I will enjoy looking at people posting stuff. I will be on Omnidog's Vault show. His Saturday show. I'm the guest, so that's gonna be fun. Go watch that and have fun. Have a great weekend. Thank you to our sponsor, Instruct Trades. Thank you to everybody watching later. Let us know in the comments if you've read the manga that I talked about. What are your thoughts on those, or the Crunchyroll store, or whatever we talked about? I don't know. You do you. Storm and Stress. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. And that's the pronunciation. If you want to do it, go for it. Good night, all. Thank you. God bless. Stay safe out there. Catch you on the next stream, which will be Monday night. So have fun. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.